D1NZ National Drifting Championship, round one, it's final time.
That's right, Steve, it is final time, and what a fantastic start by Donny D. Drew Donovan right on that rear quarter of Cole Armstrong.
To go down there and take it out, like that battle with Donny D was just phenomenal. I watched that probably 100 times and been like, damn, I don't know if I won that. And then I watch it different angles and different things, and you can see where the judges have come from, which is awesome because hey, we got to take it out. But biggest thing was to show, what we've built this year is gonna work, and hopefully can keep on going up, man.
After winning the opening round of the 2017 D1NZ season, Cole Armstrong propels himself to the top of the points table in this year's championship title fight.
More than 60 cars, teams and drivers made their way south to Dunedin's Forsyth Bar Stadium for round one. Now it's time to step up the speed as the series heads to the lower North Island. Manfeild circuit Chris Amon plays host to round two of the Demon Energy D1NZ Drifting Championship Series.
Yes, well, welcome to the show. It's the Demon Energy D1NZ Championship Series, coming to you from Manfeild Circuit Chris Amon, a new name for the facility to honour the Kiwi Formula One legend.
It's great to be back at the mighty Manawa 2. It's a good chance for the drivers to be able to stretch the legs and pick up the speed as the cars grab fourth gear to start the course.
Yeah, Manfield's my favourite track. It's high speed, it flows really well, it's got lots of technicalities, big switches, tight hairpin, it's brilliant, I love it.
Team DSR's Dave Steadman will be looking for a stronger performance at round two after being knocked out of the top 16 in Dunedin.
After taking out second place for round one, Team D1NZ's Drew Donovan is looking for another strong finish after grabbing a top four result at Manfeild last year.
Fast, open, flowing track, it does work really well as a drift track. There could well be some things the judges will throw in to mix it up, I'm not sure.
Former champion Darren Kelly put a solid drive in the brand new car, scoring a podium finish at round one despite not having a pre-season test day. Darren is looking forward to putting the car through its paces.
Yeah, putting this thing to the test, it's never seen a racetrack in competition, so same thing as round one. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error, and it's just amazing to drive, so looking forward to getting it onto a racetrack and where everybody just pushes the limit.
After victory at Forsyth Bar Stadium, Cole Armstrong is another driver keen to test the limits. His Nissan 250 GT equipped with a new WiseFab steering package.
The technology that they've come up with in that to make the steering do what it does, it's just phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to trying to tip it in, man. Push the car to its limits to find out where I can and can't, go with it.
A man who goes into Manfeild with happy memories is two-time champion Dan Woolhouse. A strong victory here last season puts him as one of the front runners for round two.
My favourite track in New Zealand. It's challenged me for 14 years, and last year we finally broke the ice and won here. I feel a lot more like the pressure's off, I've conquered it. Let's go and have fun and try and do well.
While Manfeild is a track many drivers have driven before, there are small changes to the judging criteria for the circuit this season. Team D1NZ's Jody Verhulst having to adapt to the new elements.
For me, I'm sort of between gears. I'm a little bit fourth on entry and then third for the rest of the section. I'm still pedaling the old T56 dog box, so that's really slow shifting, so I'm trying to shift as least as possible.
Australian international Matty Hill is taking on a full season campaign in a D1NZ Pro class, looking forward to his first taste of the Manfeild drift section.
Yeah, it's a big difference. I mean, at Dunedin we had to, put the pressures right down, get heaps of grip into the car. This time we can pump the pressures up, get more speed into it and go a lot quicker and just throw the car a lot harder.
While not competing the full season, Shane Allen and the Rattler Motorsport team made an appearance for round two. The brand new Ford Mustang V8 finally getting its competition debut.
It's got a 900 horse, 800 foot-power. It's got a HGT sequential gearbox with a 9-inch diff. So it's a long time coming. It took us about 3 years to build, so it was worth the wait.
Another first for the season is Joel Counter, making his first full D1NZ Pro Class campaign. The former Drift South champion leads a big contingent of South Island-based teams competing in this year's series.
Yeah, it's a real challenge for us. This track's way different to anything we've driven on in the South Island with Ruapuna and Levels, and then Dunedin being the last round. They're the only 3 proper drift tracks we've ever been on, so Manfield's a challenge. The car's not quite perfect for it, but yeah, we're up for it.
Time now to go over our competition elements for round 2 and our judging team for the weekend. Brendan Dunker, of course, our line judge for 2017, 14 years behind the wheel with 35 points to dish out.
Another 35 points will be scored under the watchful eye of Dan Mackey, 15 years experience in the sport, based out of Sydney, Australia.
Our final judge is Pro Sport Series driver Kyle Jackways, another D1 veteran with 14 years in the race suit, 30 points up for grabs, and of course, these 3 criteria combine to form a total score of 100.
Well, who better to take us for a hot lap around the fast-flowing Manfeild circuit? Our round winner here last year, 2 times New Zealand champion, Feilding Dan.
It's a rolling start here at round 2 into the staging area, accelerating up to the start of the judge section, a big 4th gear entry to start the course.
Judges are looking for a wide outer line to start, driving back into the first transition zone on the right-hand side. Very important first scoring area where both the front and the rear of the car need to be as they navigate the switch.
Firing on through to an inside clip on the left-hand side. Very important competition line. Don't want to push too wide onto that ripple strip. This is the next inside scoring zone. The front of the car needs to be as close as possible through that zone.
It'll be a fast, aggressive transition into the hairpin. You've got to manage your entry speed the best you can to line up the last inside clip on the left, powering out full throttle to finish the course.
Penalties for the round are straightforward. A wheel off is a points deduction. 2 wheels off will result in a 0 score. Straight lines and spins will also knock you out of contention. Corrections scored in real time.
Battle proximity will see chase cars aiming for the rear quarter of the lead car, using it as a mobile clipping point throughout the course.
The lead car has to set the qualifying line. It's up to the chase car to match or better that performance. And of course, diving and shortcuts will result in penalties.
And that is how the competition is done here at the D1NZ. Time now to look at the front runners and qualifying here for round 2 at Manfeild Raceway. Continuing a strong performance after the opening round in Dunedin was Nico Reid in the Evergreen Tyres Nissan S15. Nico setting an 84-point pass for 3rd place.
Good result. Car was feeling great yesterday, and there's a bit of pressure going into qualifying, but hey, we put it behind us and yeah, got the job done.
It was a surefire bet to see Feilding Dan at the top of the scoreboard. Once again, the best of the V8s in qualifying. The Century Batteries Holden Commodore setting an 84-point pass to match Nico Reid. His second run of an 80.5, separating the 2 drivers to earn Dan Woolhouse 2nd place.
The top 3 or 4 in qualifying's where I aim to be all the time, and yeah, bring on the battles.
The man at the top of the field was Damon Templeman in the Pace Pulse E46 BMW. The first lap score of 78 backed up with an impressive 84.5 pass in the 2JZ turbo machine, grabbing pole position for round 2.
It's nice to come back to a track that we all love to drive and come out on top. You know, that's only part of the equation for the weekend. You know, today's when it really matters is the battles. You know, it sort of doesn't really matter where you qualify, it's sort of how you end up on today. It means, you know, we're guaranteed some good points for this round, but, you know, ideally we want to just keep progressing through the day and end up on the podium or hopefully on the top step.
So it was Templeman taking pole from Dan Woolhouse and Nico Reid. Bruce Tannock mixing things up alongside Cole Armstrong, who rounds out the top 5. One of the tightest qualifying sessions in a long time, with just 2 points separating a big chunk of the top 10.
Of course, the competition format this season puts the pressure on the bottom 16 drivers, who now have to battle for the spot and remain in the event. The top 8 drivers in qualifying automatically through to the top 16 bracket.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. It certainly mixed things up for the first round of Dunedin. Let's look at the highlights from the top 24.
Australian international Matty Hill had a tough battle against Brad Smith. It was wheels off track for both drivers in their passes. Matty Hill, though, grabbing victory in the Foreman's Performance S15. Brad Smith out with a straight line.
Big entry from Dave Steedman in the Mimico Max Muffler's Nissan S14. It didn't come together for Shane Allen in the Mount Shop Ford Mustang, taking a spin on the entry. Steedman grabbing victory into the top 16. Mechanical issues ending the day early for Rattler Motorsport.
Pro Series rookie Raymond Robinson matched up with Pro Series champion Chad McKenzie. McKenzie with a strong lead run, cleaning up in the chase, a win for the ex-Shane Giles 2JZ S15 into the top 16.
Big entry from hometown hero Jaron Olive Corona, the parts trader S14, looking strong on a home track advantage up against the Brian Roberts towing S15 of Troy Jenkins. Olive Corona grabbing a win into the top 16.
Dylan Woolhouse and Stewie Baker squared off with an OMT battle. Unfortunately for Stu Baker, it was a spin in the final section that cost him. Woolhouse grabbing the win in the NZKW RX-7.
Team DSR's Adam Davies in the 13B powered 180 SX had an easy victory over Joel Patterson in the top 24. Mechanical dramas for the Vehicle Imports Direct R32 Skyline.
Well, it was a big scrap between Tom Marshall and Drew Donovan in the 24. The pair of S15s going head-to-head. Marshall with a big entry on his lead run, but it was the chase run that stirred controversy. Drew Donovan, the Milwaukee Tools S15, deemed too slow at the hairpin, causing contact with the chase car.
Words would be exchanged at the windows by both drivers. Marshall grabbing the victory into the top 16.
Well, the final battle of the top 24 saw Jerry Zhu with a big entry on Jody Verhulst. The chase didn't come together, though, as the NOB Building Supplies S15 smacking the rear of the Milwaukee Tools Supra. Verhulst taking victory, Jerry Zhu stuck in the sand trap.
Well, that's how the top 16 lines up after the top 24 knockout battles. Stick around after the break, more drift action coming up.
Well, welcome back. You're watching the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series. It's round 2 from Manfeild Raceway for the 2017 season.
Well, it was also round 2 of the Demon Energy Pro Sport Drift Series. The privateers, the rookies and the young guns battling it out in their top 32 competition.
The Pro Sport category has been known as a development series for a number of years. The class restricted to the 235 Sport radial tyres as opposed to the 265 semi-slicks used in the Pro Championship Series.
There was plenty of action on track again. Tully Pucky coming together with Michael Thorley, last season's Rookie of the Year Cody Pullenburry, again showing a hard charge this season, putting the pressure on D1NZ Pro driver Bruce Tannock inside the top 8.
Unfortunately for Cody, it was Bruce holding on to the victory. He would go through to battle round 1 winner Kyle Jackways and secure a spot in the finals.
Michael Thorley and John O'Gorman battled for a spot in the semis, Thorley taking a win through to the final over Guy Graham Baggery.
Well, this would set up a battle for 3rd and 4th place. Round 1 winner Kyle Jackways leading out the Colton's Motors 180SX, doing battle with Pro Sport Series rookie Guy Graham Baggery from Christchurch.
The privateer Rotary FC RX-7 putting on a committed chase run for Team CFCD, Guy Graham Baggery's first ever D1NZ top 4.
Well, the second pass was not to be. The battle would fizzle out from the get-go. Mechanical dramas would end the day for rotary-powered FC RX-7. Carl Jackways in the Colton's Motors 180SX taking an easy victory, securing 3rd place for the weekend.
The final battle for round 2 of the Pro Sport class was a unique matchup between Series regular Michael Thorley in the Femme Fatale C33 Laurel and Pro Series regular Bruce Tannock in the Achilles Radial Nissan S13.
Bruce Tannock double stinting again this weekend, competing in both classes of the D1NZ. Thorley on a high, being able to battle in his first ever D1NZ final.
In the first pass, it was an advantage to Tanak, pulling a gap on the R34 fronted Laurel. In the second pass, though, it was Tanak again applying the pressure in the Achilles Radial S13.
Michael Thorley leading out Bruce Tanak for his first ever D1NZ final. Tanak keeping a clean chase. The Femme Fatale C33 trying to force a mistake.
In the end, things didn't go in favour for Michael Thorley, the C33 pushing wide in the final section. Tanak making up ground and pushing through to grab the win. A round victory for the Achilles Radial S13.
Awesome battles all weekend. Some of the young guys coming through. It's all good fun, and me and Kyle, 6 battles over 2 rounds, so that was really cool as well. And then another rerun in the final. But stoked to get that.
So it was Bruce Tanak grabbing the victory. A huge shake-up in the points for the Pro Sports Series after round 2. Tanak with an 8-point lead over Kyle Jackway's Blair Gribble-Bowring in third from Cody Pullenbury.
Well, great stuff from our Pro Sport Drift Series. Now it's time to check out the best bits from the Pro Championship highlights from the top 16, round 2 of the Demon Energy D1NZ Series at Manfeild.
Well, our pulsar Dane and Templeman lined up against Australian Matty Hill. Ben Wilkinson up against Dave Stedman. Bruce Tanak takes on last year's Pro Sport winner Chad McKenzie. Cole Armstrong up against Jaron Olive-Krona.
Battle of the Woolhouse cousins in the right-hand side. Darren Kelly versus Adam Davies, Nico Reed and Tom Marshall, Jody Verhulst and Joe Marshall to finish the grid.
Well, the first battle up in the top 16 was an OMT ×2. The judges aren't able to separate Matty Hill and Dane and Templeman. In the end, the performance, Nissan S15 taking victory over the Pace Pools E46 BMW. The Australian knocking out Templeman for a place in the top 8.
Team DSR's Dave Steedman took on Ben Wilkinson in the battle of the RB-powered S-chassis. Wilkinson stacking on a huge entry in the Pack and Save Botany Downs S15.
Wilkinson opening up a gap on Steedman, the Mimico machine, unable to claw back proximity after the first transition.
In the second pass, Dave Steedman returned the serve with a fast entry. Wilkinson chasing hard in the rear. Unfortunately, it would all come undone for the Pack and Save S15. Steedman taking victory through to the top 8. Wilkinson spinning out after a hard chase.
Yeah, I kind of just came in a bit quick, I guess, and gained on him pretty fast. I shallowed up my line a wee bit, and just came in too hot and clipped his door slightly and then went off track.
Oh yeah, I definitely felt a bit of a nudge. Managed to keep on it and finish the section. I'm not actually sure what happened in the rest of it, but we got through, I think.
Well, Bruce Tanak was in a world of form after winning round 2 of the Pro Sport category. Former Pro Sport champion Chad McKenzie lining up in his first ever Pro Championship debut.
Bruce Tanak carrying a strong lead run. It would be an upset for Chad McKenzie, the privateer S15 taking a spin in the final sector. Tanak through to the top 8.
A great battle from hometown driver Jaron Olive-Krona in the parts trader Nissan S14, trying to fend off series leader Cole Armstrong. A superb chase, though, would see a win for the V-Energy 250 GT Skyline.
It was a wicked run. Unfortunately, the gearbox, we had issues yesterday. It missed 4th gear coming through the splash. So, hey, it made me do a bit of a straight line, I guess. And, yeah, we didn't go through. But I'd like to make a quick shout-out to Parts Trader New Zealand for backing us and, of course, K-Mop as well. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we want to start with. Hey, you got to dust those nerves out. Bit nervous first battle, but, hey, take my head off Jaron. He did a good run. I just sat on him like I'm going to do for the rest of the night. But big ups to Conrad and Kate getting married right now. I'll be there soon.
The battle of the cousins, Dan Woolhouse up against Dylan Woolhouse in the new NZKW RX-7. Both of them driving supercharged V8. The Century batteries Holden opening up a big gap in the lead run. A big mistake from Dylan in the RX-7.
Well, it was an OMT battle between these guys. Dylan Woolhouse trying to power away and lay the challenge to Fanger Dan. The 2-time champion wasn't going to let it slip, though. The big Holden V8 lurking the rear of the little Mazda, appearing out of the smoke and cleaning up a victory into the top 8.
Team DSR's Adam Davies went into battle with round 1 podium finisher Darren Kelly, the Nissan R35 GTR inline 6, leading out the 13B Turbo Mimico 180SX.
Well, it was a great scrap from the rotary-powered machine of Adam Davies. Darren Kelly going for an aggressive chase run in the GTR, trying to close up on the back of Davies. It was a love tap with the rear of the car that cost Kelly points, though. Adam Davies grabbing the victory and placing in the top 8.
The People's Champ Nico Reid had a tough day behind the wheel of the Evergreen Tyres Nissan S15. Mechanical issues upsetting his lead run against Tom Marshall in the Evergreen Tyres Nissan S15.
Well, Tom Marshall would put on a solid lead run over Nico, the Taniwha RB30, trying to stay with the rear quarter of the 2JZ-powered S15.
Lost in the smoke, it would be another big mistake for Nico Reid. Contact with the lead car at the final transition, Tom Marshall fending Nico off for a win and through to the top 8.
Well, with another one of our top drivers knocked out from round 1 early, the top 8 was going to be a shake-up for the series points. Team ATJ's Joe Marshall now up against the Milwaukee Tools 2JZ Supra of Jody Verhulst.
A big entry from Joe Marshall would secure good ground in the lead run. It was disaster for Jody Verhulst, falling back and getting lost in the smoke. 2 wheels off track would mean a 0 score. An easy victory for Joe Marshall through to the top 8 in the Evergreen Tyres 180SX.
It's really, really smoky out there today. Unfortunately, the wind's sort of blowing it directly into your sight in the infield there. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. We had a really good day, so, yeah, happy as.
Well, that wraps up highlights of the top 16. This is how the top 8 will line up as we battle down to the finals. Join us next week as we continue coverage from the Demon Energy D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series. It's round 2 from Manfeild Circuit. Chris Amon, who's going to take the checkered flag and who will reign as king for the 2017 series.
Cheers for tuning in. For more drifting action and on-demand episodes and the latest series news and info, visit D1NZ.com.